Hey, I'm Lydia Isnanto, and this is Dreampreneurs Chat. It's a show where I chat with dream chasers all around the world who make their passion their paycheck, loving the risk they took and the job they do. Everything that Sandra has experienced as a student, wife, mother, and lawyer has shaped who she is. But it was really her burnout and search for new meaning that brought her to where she is now.
I see opportunities being presented to me that I didn't initially identify when I started the Spa Me. So just being flexible and adjusting to the different twists and turns and how you're growing as a person, but how your business is growing, I think is very important.
And now here is Sandra with a new energy, free spirit, and purpose to guide women in establishing their own self-care rituals in every phase of their career and motherhood. Her new purpose in life is to help other women acknowledge their worth in making self-care an ongoing practice as opposed to an occasional indulgence.
For a self-made woman like me.
Hi, Dreampreneurs Chat Show gang. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I'm so excited because we have amazing story, amazing women right here, Sandra Foreman. And she is the founder of the Spa in Me, which is so exciting because it's still very new, right? Like a year, 2 years?
It's new. It's 2 years old.
2 years old,
I started the company in 2016.
Okay.
Initially, I started blogging about wellness destinations in Austin.
Okay.
So that's how it started with me just, blogging about the different wellness venues here in Austin, because in my opinion, Austin is definitely, at that time, was definitely known for its festivals, but to me that it wasn't really known for their health and wellness venues. So I would blog about spas here in Austin and different hiking trails because I love to hike. And so that's how it started. And since then, I've added an annual retreat for women.
Yeah, so the annual retreat was successfully done last year.
Yes.
And this is going to be the second one, which is on October
26th at McKinney Ruffs, which is near Austin.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean, I just moved to Austin too, and I agree with you. Like, there's so many creative people here, so many techs as well, and I think a lot of us really need wellness. Something that's like self-care. So tell us a story about, how did you come up with this idea, and how did you start? And what is the background that pushed you want to do this? Yeah.
The background has a long history. I'm an attorney of 23 years. And so during that period of time, it was just always instilled in me to work hard. And I just, didn't know anything different than that. Yeah. So just, being a hard working student, then, college, law school. Yeah. Law school is good for preparing you for the profession, but not really preparing you on how to have a balanced lifestyle, if there is anything such as balance, but really not preparing you for how to live a healthy lifestyle, I should say that. And so just taking that hardworking ethic from law school to the workplace, it just continued. And so then I got married. My husband is a physician, so he's a hard worker as well. And we have 2 children. So just, working as a student, then as a lawyer, being a hardworking mom. Yeah. I just didn't know anything different than what I was doing. And so it just really, I started to realize, I need a rest, so I did start taking some family retreats, with my husband and with our sons, but still not really having anything for myself. But when my kids became teenagers, they didn't want us around them as much as far as like their activities were concerned. So then I had free time for the first time probably in my life. And I just thought to myself, I don't even know what to do. I just really had no hobbies.
Yeah.
And so I started exploring Austin and just trying to figure out what appealed to me outside of working, because I never had anything outside of working that was just for me. And so what I found that interested me the most were health and wellness activities. And to me, it makes sense because I am a health and disability lawyer. And so for me now, being involved in health and wellness, you know, I'm more about helping people to prevent, you know, illnesses and chronic diseases from the perspective of teaching women how to, introducing them to different self-care strategies that they can implement at home or just taking time out away from home, and then just helping them to balance and manage their stress so that it doesn't get to the point where they're burning out, because that's what happened to me. I just felt like I reached a point of burnout just overall in all aspects of my life. So I had to learn how to just really save myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Sandra, speaking about burning out, and also for 1.5 years, you're doing this, 2 years basically, 2 years,
Yes.
2 years. And so how do you see yourself change?
When I identified, I explored so many different types of wellness activities. And so because I had done that for years, I mean, I've been on this path a very long time, maybe 7 or 8 years, just, you know, exploring the different, you know, what's available away from home and at home. And so I identified for me what worked. For me, I'm more attracted to activities where it's like a yin and a yang.
Right, yeah.
You know, I like weightlifting, but then I also like yoga, you know, so for me, I had to find my formula. But the purpose of the retreat and just the Spine Me in general is that everybody has, you know, everybody will find something that appeals to them. So it may not be what I enjoy. Everybody's different. And so that's really the meaning of the Spine Me, helping people to identify wellness within themselves, because it's going to look different for everybody. I also like to journal. That's, you know, something I like to do as well. So with the Spine Me, it's important for me as I'm building my business to remember the message that I'm trying to convey to other women and to remind myself, okay, take a break. Sometimes, you know, take a breath, take a time out. So I'm really trying to incorporate what I'm teaching by practicing it myself.
So your retreat will have the harvest, right?
Yes.
And then also amazing food.
Amazing food.
Yeah.
Which is really important because I want women to realize that it's possible to go a day without eating meat. And so my retreats are vegetarian based. So they're informed of that ahead of time. But for the first retreat, the women were very surprised that they were full. I mean, the food is very tasty because I invest a lot of time in making sure that the quality of food is superior.
Yeah.
And this year we have ATX Food Company, which is a plant-based restaurant here in Austin that also has a catering company. So their food is delicious.
Yeah.
The women are going to love it.
Yeah. And so when did you change from eating meat and stop eating, you know, to vegan, basically?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and how does it affect your body too? I mean, if you don't mind to share.
Oh, sure. I became a vegan in 2000. It's been almost 2 years now. I was in a bodybuilding competition in almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yes, because I love to exercise and I love to lift weights. And so at the time, I was doing Olympic weightlifting.
Oh my
And
God, I didn't know it. So awesome.
and my sister loctician mentioned her trainer at the time was starting bodybuilding training team. And I said, "Oh, I'm interested. I want to know more about that."
Yeah.
And so that's how I was introduced to the sport through her. And I love everything about the sport. I was able to just meet a good group of people who were also entrepreneurs. And so, and that was also during the time that I had started the Spa Me. But when I found myself around them, they were just such positive people, successful entrepreneurs, which I really hadn't spent that much time around entrepreneurs before. And it just helped me to become more disciplined.
Yeah.
So I realized that, okay, it is possible to have a successful business because I saw it in them. And then just, being disciplined in how exercise can become a priority in your life.
Yeah.
And so I just, it helped to instill those ethics in me. And so then with the bodybuilding, I just continue to evolve in my business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first when I met you, I honestly got a shock that you are a lawyer.
Yes.
Because like you smile, like I can feel the vibe from you that you're someone who confident with yourself, you're comfortable with yourself. So that is amazing. I mean, like for a lawyer, right? I mean, like I have like few people that I know a lawyer. Like I can imagine, I cannot imagine their stress, and you can feel the vibe too.
Right.
So I think you must have done a lot of different things. You try out different things to balance yourself. From try to be vegan, and then you exercise and you journaling. So among all this, like hiking and explore the nature, music, So among all these things, is there any one that, boom, this is like affecting you the most? Affecting the change inside of you the most? Yeah.
For me, it's a combination.
Combinations.
I try to stay on a schedule. I exercise mostly in the morning time, but I also journal every morning. And I would say the exercise with the journaling have the most impact in my life, because with the journaling, I'm just able to release any worries and just get my thoughts on paper. And then it helps me to see any patterns, whether they're positive or negative. So for me, journaling is my form of meditation. I don't meditate well with traditional methods of meditation. It works for other people, and that's great. But for me, the act of writing is what brings me healing. Yeah. So yeah.
So what would you suggest for businesswomen out there who probably doesn't like to write?
Right. Right.
Like well, I'm not really good in writing too. So then when I type in journaling, like probably it's just a while, and then I get bored with it. Like I will buy some nice journaling in the bookshop. Like I like the colors, the design. Oh my God, I got a new journal. But then I just start a day and I will stop.
Right.
So what are the maybe few tips of the best self-care that you can share with business women out there, like every day to discipline?
Right. For me, I would say going outside is helpful to me. Like I mentioned that hiking was something that my sons were in Boy Scouts. And so because of that, I was introduced to being in the outdoors, because when I was younger, I just wasn't something I thought about doing. I went outside, but I didn't hike. I didn't go to any of the state parks that are here in Texas. But I would say for business women to go outside, it doesn't have to, be a hiking trail, but taking time out throughout your day to go outside and just observe birds, animals, whatever. Spending time with I have a dog. So my dog brings she's just always happy to see me. So that brings joy to my life as well. Yeah. So maybe spending more time with your animals. I hear a lot of women who say that their dogs bring happiness. And also, one thing that I did start to do, I started changing the colors of my wardrobe because I started to realize, I wear the traditional blues and blacks. Yeah. And I'm like, let me change it up a bit. I don't know what prompted that. I just started being attracted to more colors. And I would say for women, maybe, trying, more bright, more colorful clothing, because the clothes that you wear, the color of your clothes, that can impact your mood as well. Just something simple as that. Yeah. And spending more time with family and friends, whether it's a phone call, visiting for lunch, dinner, whatever. I think just that connection to a community is helpful as well.
So Sandra, am I right to say that you are introvert?
I am.
Or are you half introvert and half extrovert?
I'm probably a combo. I'm an introvert until I get to know someone. Okay. And then I'm probably more outgoing and talkative. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of people really like, introvert and extrovert. That is probably like, when we like, especially businesswomen, we network, we meet people, we talk with people, and we just need that moment, whether with animal, with bird, and talking with friends that's close with you, and family, just have a quality time. That's definitely the greatest self-care ever.
Right.
Yeah, I really, that's really great. So Sandra, can I ask you, ever since you start this, is there any challenge that you can share? And then because you start from zero, I know that your website is just up and that's so amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, but so far when you have your own business, what do you feel is a challenge for you?
Well, as solo entrepreneur, I wear a lot of hats. So I'm doing quite a bit to grow the Spa in Me. And so just time management, it's always a challenge for me. Am I spending too much time doing A or B? And is the time I'm spending doing this one thing, is that consistent with the goal I'm wanting to achieve? So I'm always just aware of my time. And just one challenge, and I think I have overcome that now because I feel like I have a good group, a good team of people, independent contractors that I work with, but just learning how to delegate and deciding, okay, this is a skill that I don't have. Is this something that I'm willing to learn? Or can I delegate this one thing to somebody else because I just don't care to learn it? And so, just being very aware of at some point you're going to have to delegate some responsibilities to other people because you can't learn everything. And so I feel like I've gotten really good with that. I do delegate my graphic design work to someone, and she does an amazing job. And I have someone that does my web design work for the retreat website. So she's wonderful. And as I grow, I'll always keep those things in mind. And also just how to market, that's always a challenge for me because, I wasn't on social media before the Spa Me. I was really actually nervous about it. I mean, I was really nervous because I'm a, introvert. And so I am private until I get to know someone. So to me, that was the first challenge I had to overcome. And so, I am on social media now, but so the challenge is, okay, how much social media do I do? How much networking do I do? How much of, traditional media do I do? And so I what I tell myself, ultimately what matters is the quality of the work. Because when your work is of high quality, then people will get to know your company. And that really is what I feel is happening to the spa in me, because in anything that I do, I try to give 110% to everything.
I can see that.
Right. And so to me, the work comes first, and then I'll determine, okay, then I'll decide how I'm going to market or socialize, whether it's in person or through social media. You know, I operate from that standpoint.
Can you tell us a little bit more? What is the retreat that you're going to have in this October? Like, you know, what are the itineraries and the exciting activities? You know, like, so I'm sure there's so many people, including me, you know, like business women out there who really need this. And yeah, burnout is just like every day we need to deal with it. So if we want to learn more from this retreat, maybe you can tell us a little bit more.
Right. I'm so excited about this retreat. I started planning this retreat the day after the last one ended. And I knew I wanted to have a pajama-themed retreat. So it's a one-day retreat. It's the rest, reset, restore retreat and pajama party. So women are to come dressed in pajamas. And it's from 8 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. And as soon as everyone arrives, you'll be greeted by a harpist. And also the harpist will play during breakfast time. After breakfast, we'll have a game called Sparked, which is a conversational game to get to know each other. Some of the categories include gratitude, adventure, passion, love. It's just a game for women to connect at a deeper level. And it's nothing that's intrusive. If a person doesn't want to share, then they don't have to. It's a card game. It's a card and conversational game. So we'll play that for a while. And then from there, we'll have a morning snack, breakfast, the morning snack, lunch, the PM snack, and the dessert bar are all plant-based. Through the ATX Food Company will cater those foods. So after the Sparked game and the morning snack, we'll have a clinical aromatherapy session. And there will be a do-it-yourself project that the clinical aromatherapist will lead the group into. And then there will be a session on skincare. In fact, my esthetician is leading that session, so I'm really excited to have her involvement. And we will also have a movie in the amphitheater. It's called Second Act. Jennifer Lopez and Leah Remini are in that movie. I love the movie. It's funny and it's a drama. It's just a good movie for women who are entering the second phase of their lives. So it's very fitting for this retreat. You know, I think a lot of women can relate to that, and that's really my story, where I've practiced for so long, but I know that I'm able and capable of doing other things. And so that's a scary step to take. It was scary for me. It's sort of like a grieving process in some ways, I feel, because it's like saying goodbye to one part of who you are, and then just being open to doing something new. And so that's sort of what Second Act is about. And the McKinney Ruff's staff will prepare a traditional peach cobbler by the campfire. So that's going to be amazing. I've gotten them involved. And from there, we will have a dance party. We'll have a female DJ playing uplifting, upbeat, inspirational songs that we can dance to or not, or just listen and enjoy. And there will also be a henna artist there. So for women to get tattoos on their arms and memorialize their time that they spent at the retreat.
So Sandra, when you create this program, each of the program that you mentioned, what do you foresee and the benefit for women after this retreat? What do you foresee they will get from this?
In a fun way, they will learn that, okay, well, when I go home, I can go outside more because I experienced that at the retreat. Or I can take time to watch a fun movie. You know, it doesn't have to always involve leaving your home or spending substantial amounts of money. There are things you can do that aren't costly. You know, just laughter. So watching a funny movie, that's healing as well. So I want them to realize that. Or, you know, there are books women can buy on do-it-yourself spa products, you know, if they can do it home and it's actually fun. So that's what I try to introduce to women at the retreat, things that they can actually implement when they go home. So it's fun, but it's also practical. I want to make it practical. So that's why I take, because I have the experience, I sampled so many activities. So I just made a lot of contacts, and so I'm very just thoughtful of, okay, if I want to have these practices introduced in my retreat, because I know when they go home that these are activities that they can actually implement when they arrive.
I'm seriously very impressed with that, because like, you know, like a lot of people, and including myself, we don't know what is the self-care that exactly that is the one thing that I will want to have it. And the way you introduce from the fun part and watching movies and, you know, dancing and connect with people and spark where push yourself out there to share your story and hear people's story. I mean, then we know, oh, I think I like this one more. We can go home and I think I'm gonna do this more, because that is the type of self-care that works for me. And I think that is really great, the way you introduce everything, and I can feel that you found yourself. So how do you find this actually? As in like as your passion, and what advice would you give for people out there who still wanting to try out probably wellness business, you know, and all that?
For me, I knew I wanted to do something different, but I didn't know exactly how that will look. And this has been something, like, this has been really a very long process for me to identify. You know, I have a health and disability law background, but I didn't know that I wanted to focus on the prevention side of health and wellness. But what I did, I remember just saying, okay, I want to start I started identifying my interests. You know, I started identifying, okay, what is it that I'm good at doing, and just taking inventory and really identifying those things. And then I started reading a lot of books. Maybe it was like a particular career or something, I would read it, and if I got to something, I'm thinking, oh, I'm not doing that. Like, that is not even on the list anymore. So, you know, I would start going to different industry meetings in the Austin area related to, you know, whatever career I thought was potentially something I could transition into. And, you know, and I really just stayed in tune with my reaction to maybe the career itself through what I was reading or just learning about, and just trying to determine, okay, is that something I really want to do? Like, you know, would that hold my attention for any length of time? But when it got to the point where I knew I was good with writing, health, and wellness, I started going to conferences. I started going to travel writing and travel blogging conferences and joining different groups in Austin. And so when I started going to conferences, which is really what I advise people to do, like if they're close to identifying that thing that they want to pursue, for every interest or industry, there is some conference related to it. And I highly recommend that women go to a conference to learn more, but also to meet people who are doing something related to what you want to possibly transition into. And then once that thing is identified, I think it's very important to join an organization, an industry organization related to that. Because, you know, it's good to network and meet people who are doing different things, but for me, it's important to join an organization related to what it is I'm wanting to do, because then I will evolve and get better in that. So that's very important to me. And also to remain flexible, because how I see myself, I see opportunities being presented to me that I didn't initially identify when I started the Spa Me. So just being flexible and adjusting to the different twists and turns and how maybe you're growing as a person, but how your business is growing, I think is very important.
First of all, I want to congratulate you, because like this is not only a business that really have a great cause for women, like really helping women, but also it is a business that you're passionate about. If you could share with us what are the social media that you have with the Spa in Me, and where they can find you, and where they can find the informations about the retreat, maybe you can share with us.
Right. The website about the retreat is thespainmeretreats.com. So people can go there. On the Spa in Me is on Facebook. It is on Instagram, Pinterest, and you can also connect with me through LinkedIn.
Thank you so much, Sandra. And is there anything else that you want to share, or?
Well, we'd like to share that the retreat, again, is October 26th. Take a look at the website, read through it, and I hope you will come.
There's a discount still?
Yes, the discount is until, it's the early bird discount, which is available until July 15th. And the discount code is early bird. It's a $40 discount. So please utilize that. The information is about housing options on site and that are nearby. That information is also on the website under FAQs. So please look at that information if you're coming in from out of town. We had women who drove in from Houston and Dallas last year.
Wow.
So.
All right. So thank you so much, Sandra.
You're welcome.
Again, like this is really great chatting with you, and the vibe that I get from you.
Thank you.
I think this is the instant self-care for me, to just talk with such amazing women like Sandra.
Thank you so much.
All right, so thank you so much for everyone who tuning in, and don't forget to check her out and check the website, check the retreat, and don't forget to get the discount if you're interested. All right, thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
For a self-made woman like me.
This podcast is available on iTunes and other major podcast platforms. If you like this show, please subscribe and give your rating and review on iTunes. That means a lot to help the show keep going. You can also watch the video podcast series at youtube.com/Lydia Isnanto. See you on the next brand new chat. Until then, remember to share your story with someone, because you never know how one sentence of your life story could inspire others to rewrite their own.